So we're going to stay with our rolling coverage, perhaps also get a comment from Cooperative, the spokesperson standing by, because we know that an orange level 9 warning for disruptive rainfall, it remains in place in parts of Limpopo and Mpumalanga as the risks of widespread and life-threatening floods continue to intensify. Let's get that update now in Mpumalanga. We're going to bring in Mpumalanga Department of Cooperative Governance, Human Settlements and Traditional Affairs Department spokesperson Freddy Ngobe. Freddy, I dare say good morning, given what is transpired, but thank you for making time, for speaking to our nation, because we're obviously looking at what has transpired overnight, that warning having dropped from level 10 to level 9. But the reality on the ground, I mean, just describe what is happening in reality for families and communities on the ground as we speak.
A very good morning to you, Lisa, and your viewers at home. Thanks for the opportunity. What we're dealing with here is massive as a province. The MEC visited Nkomas yesterday. Villages, several of them are waterlogged, roads are inaccessible, and public facilities affected. And we can confirm that since the start of the rains, we have 20 fatalities, one being confirmed just last night or this morning. So we're sitting at 20, and just over 1,300 houses affected, and several public infrastructure, farms, agriculture, and so on. It's quite a huge blow that we're dealing with. But of course, all hands are on deck from all sectors of government, province, national, municipalities, even the private sector is on board to ensure that at least we assist each other so that we restore people's livelihoods.
Well, Freddie's going to take a collaborative affair. And even if we're just looking at the districts or the municipalities at large that have been the most severely damaged, talk to us about those areas in particular. What cautionary measures have also been issued? Just to reiterate for those who are listening.
The rains have mainly or affecting your Ehlanzeni district, mainly, which is your Nkomas, the city of Mbombela, severely, and Bushbuck Ridge. Some parts of Gatsibande, your Mkondo, Chifalbet-Lutuli. So it's basically at your eastern part of the province. Of course, we do have some incidents around Yonkangala, Emalahleni, Middelburg, and so on. We do report to that. So our measures is that once the season started, your summer season, we developed and activated our contingency plan, and we are meeting constantly as the Provincial Joint Operations Committee with the districts, the municipalities, and so on. We meet ad hoc or even weekly, where we compare notes and submit reports and compile them. Just like the number of 20, it's a gradual number. It's accumulative. So since the rains have started, those are the measures we do. Of course, that's guided by the Act, and we issue warnings, awareness, safety tips to communities through CWs and others in the province. So we do work together as collaboratively, and of course your humanitarian interventions, your blankets, food, and so on.
Well, Freddie, communication at this point obviously becomes critical. Talk to us about how often you issue those updates. And yes, to your point about working alongside other partners. I mean, you obviously have that plan that's now been activated on the ground. Who has been called in? From SANDF to NGOs, police, health services. How strained or constrained is it at this point, given those essential services?
Yes, the rains are persisting, and of course, some of the areas are inaccessible. But of course, once the rains have started and with our meetings, everyone is on board. Our tourism agency, our parks agency, your Sun Park, SABS, Rescue SA, and other stakeholders, including your private sector or business community, they are on board, because even your food parcels and it may be depleted and so on, but they do come on board, and we're all assisting each other so that at least we cover as much ground as we can, so that when the rain subsides, we can then consolidate our reports, send them to national with the possible classification and later declaration of a disaster, depending as to how national looks at it through COXA. Today, the minister is here together with the premier and obviously other political principals that we visit Mbombela and Bushbuck Ridge to get first-hand information and the look and feel of the challenges and taking it from there.
Okay, thank you for also speaking to the minister's visit. It's going to be crucial. Where exactly will he be going? And even if we're looking at the roads and the infrastructure damages as well, what's closed at this point? What should community members know at this point if emergency services can't reach them, or if there is a delay, should the rains intensify?
The minister, we had a meeting yesterday, a multi-sector meeting or stakeholder meeting. The minister, the province, led by the premier and other departments of public works and so on, even including the two mayors. The minister will start here in Mbombela, around Ganyamaza and Msholozi, where we suffered or befell one challenge of a 45-year-old woman who passed on or who drowned, unfortunately, and then later go to Bushback Ridge, where we're going to be assessing a number of facilities. It could be roads, schools, clinic, villages, and so on. That is where we'll be going. In terms of your weather safety tips, we do sort of constantly issue them timelessly, like now we're talking to the media, so that at least people are aware, they adhere to that, motorists and so on, avoiding outdoor activities, your fishing, your camping, and just stay out of danger so that you avoid any future casualties.
All right, Freddie, we're obviously looking at the rescue operations when it also turns into recovery, but those fasts persist and we're obviously managing this in real time. Thank you for updating the nation at this hour. Freddy Ngobe there is the Mpumalanga Department of Cooperative Governance, Human Settlements and Traditional Affairs spokesperson, weighing in on what has transpired. Of course, that the minister also going to be visiting Mpumalanga province today to give us an update, assess the damages, the needs as well. Really waiting from here as that disaster plan has been implemented on the ground.